Hi everyone and welcome to Boothy's Bites. Hey Boothy, how are you?
Hi, Jackie. Yeah, very good, thanks. Very good. I'm sat in Melbourne, sunny Melbourne today.
Very nice. Well, I'm sat in overcast Brisbane, so we've kind of swapped here, weather systems. Now, I want to kick off just by congratulating you and Roxy for being awarded the Best Independent Office Award at the 2024 SFG National Conference and Awards event. So, congratulations.
Woo! I'm not a big awards man. I don't think I've ever won any awards, so I think it's very nice. Number one, that our aggregator has recognised the hard work and the achievements to date. Secondly, the nice thing about the actual award itself is it's nominated by the peers as well. So that's our lenders, for all the good work that the brokers do, and obviously, trying to build Lydian up to the size it is today, and we'll be 20 brokers by Christmas. We've got to thank our partners as well, who have really supported us, supported the brokers. We've worked with many clients as well. So and I think Lydian 2.0 is in 2025. So we just want to say thank you to SFG and all of those people that sort of thought about Lydian, and obviously Roxy's doing such a great job sitting in the chair now in partnerships for us. But it's nice to win. Looking forward to Christmas and kind of winning it again next year maybe.
Congratulations, it is such an awesome achievement, and for me personally, I'm just so proud to be part of the Lydian team because what you and Roxy have built is just absolutely phenomenal. So thank you and congratulations. All right, so I'm going to change things up a little bit. Now let's start with news coming out of Lydian HQ. So what have you and Roxy been up to over the past month?
Yeah, so I think the biggest thing that we've achieved in, I suppose, looking back in October, really retrospectively, is that we've now got ourselves some professional development points registered with the Financial Planning Association, which is really cool. And those professional development units dedicated to talking and speaking around why providing lending as a service to your clients is important, and why you should offer this holistic service to your clients, the benefits and the values of doing that, and also the benefits to the client as well. So these professional development points enable us now to actually go on a bit of a roadshow and present to audiences of financial planners. And we're really lucky to kick off with one of our, I suppose, more recent partners who came on board mid-year this year, which is the Loyalty Financial Group, which is a dealer group, and there's about 60 financial planners across the country with those guys, and we're able to go up to the Hunter Valley and participate in their professional development 2 days, their conference. So did a bit of wine tasting, which was very nice, a bit of socializing, and then we're able to participate in their sessions, where they're learning as well, which was really cool. But we also got to present some of the good things that we're doing at Lydian and engage with the future partners being the financial planners as well, which was cool. So that's sort of a bit of a Roxy roadshow, and he's out there doing quite a lot of those now, which is great. So we're seeing some real good new business clients and partners coming on board as well, which is exciting.
Yeah, great. So much momentum at the moment. It's amazing. So what's the latest news and movements coming out of the RBA?
Yeah, so it's probably from an interest rate perspective, it's a bit confusing, right? Because we've had all of the great news that the hard work around inflation has been done, and potentially we're back in this 2 to 3% band for inflation. So therefore, that's a big tick in the box and a big comfort factor for the RBA. Interestingly, the RBA have pulled out a different measurement for inflation because they don't feel that the measurement that the market is reviewing actually captures some of the benefits which have been handed down by government, so tax and energy and some of the kind of, I suppose, the government gifts, which has sort of buffered inflation a bit. So with that in mind, even though the inflation is reduced into the 2 to 3% band, the call for interest rates to be lower has been delayed, with many of the economists now saying sort of mid-year next year before we start considering changing interest rates. I still feel the sentiment is that interest rates will be cut and they will go lower, and maybe there's sort of maybe 2 rate cuts in that just to give us a bit more, I think, just sort of soften the impact of interest rates, for households across the country. So I do think it's coming. However, the timing of that is probably going to be a little bit delayed now, which is a bit of a bummer. So, and interestingly, the fixed rates, we had some real big special fixed rates out 2 months ago. They came in for 2 weeks, and because the interest rates have now sort of kind of increased a little bit with the the cost of funds and the bonds. Those fixed rates disappeared overnight. So yeah, it was quite funny. We went out and started telling people, oh yeah, look, we've got some great fixed rates, and yeah, they disappeared the next day before we were able to sign the forms, which is a bit of a shame.
These rates are current at the time of filming. That's
that's right. That's exactly right. So yeah, so it's a bit of a tough one. So, but we do expect interest rates to come down next year, but just we're waiting and seeing. So we do have a December meet, then we've got 2 months break, and we're back in February. And then I mean, who knows what happens now though with Trump in power? We could change overnight.
Yeah, that's right. Well, sticking on the lender topic, what are some of your favourite picks at the moment as of right now, filming on Tuesday the 19th of November?
So we're getting some real good specials from St George Bank. So that's St George Bank, Westpac and Bank of Melbourne. So that group is really heavily discounting variable rates, which is great. And they're lending money for generally larger loan amounts, low loan to value ratios as well, owner occupier rates, and we can get sort of just underneath 6% for those variable rates for owner occupiers, which is really good. For people who don't, obviously probably not borrowing as much and their LVI is not as great, we've got Move Bank. They've got a 5.99 variable P&I right now, and also Bendigo Bank. Bendigo Bank have really come into the market to support brokers. They've got some really cheap rates. And they're supporting clients with good product and good rates as well. We have a ANZ fixed 2-year fix, 5.74%. So that's gone up a little bit, but that's still a pretty good 2-year fixed rate for owner occupiers P&I. And then investor debt, Move Bank at 6.14 P&I variable. And then we've also got a Move Bank interest only as well, variable at 6.34%. Just reading off my script.
Yeah, nice. Perfect. Now, I know that you've been busy looking into some different lending scenarios lately. Can you walk us through some of those?
Interestingly, when we're going out and meeting many of our partners, the financial planners, rather than sort of talking rate and product, which, all mortgage brokers have the catalogue of the lenders, we've all got access to the same rates. What we want to do is share some of the solutions and some of the advice that we've been able to implement on behalf of clients. The clients, the strategy and the advice is all delivered by the financial planner, and that relationship is important. And we're really there just to execute. We're the specialist for this relationship for lending. And with that, we're sharing some stories. So I suppose a couple of big ones for me are, we're working with a lot of mature borrowers right now, whereby that, they feel that they're not eligible for a normal home loan. I'm talking now about people who are sort of, maybe over 60, in that sort of pre-retirement stage or retirement stage as well. And that's not the case. We've worked with many mature borrowers. If we can define income, define servicing, the client's got, it's generally for investment purpose, we can actually lend money out to 30 years term. We can restructure debt. We can get interest only repayments back on that debt. And what we can do is actually, set and establish loans into retirement for the client with cheap interest rates, rather than going for specialist products like reverse mortgages and things like that. So I think it's very important when we're talking to our mature clients, if you do have, a strong financial position going into retirement, well, let's review it now when you're sort of, in that sort of pre-retirement phase and building and developing your strategy, and let's implement some lending services there. Not saying that you need to carry debt into retirement, but there's good debt and there's bad debt, yeah? And then the second one would be, we're working with a lot of the mature clients' children as well. So there's a big push for us right now to educate a lot of our partners, and that education is all around what availability and eligibility do their children have to borrow to buy their first home. And typically there's a lot of stress right now in trying to find that first home for young people anyway, but there's lots of real tips and tricks we can help and support and education there. So you've got the first home buyers grants, you've got the first home loan deposit scheme, you've got some gifting, you've got some security guarantees, you've even got servicing guarantees there as well. So those solutions that we're talking about, again, to help mum and dad kick out their kids, I think are pretty cool as well. So yeah, again, we're just going around in these roadshows with Roxy, and we're sharing some of the really good structures and solutions we've been able to implement for clients with this, the financial strategies in place.
Yeah, awesome. And so what's the latest with the property market?
It's been interesting, hasn't it? So I think across the country there's different pockets of different property types. and different cities doing different things. So Perth is going gangbusters, and noticeably for us, we've had a lot of conversations with clients looking at, I suppose, a cheaper property to invest in, also high yields and things, and going interstate to find that property has really been the thing for those guys and girls to do. So Brisbane CBD or Brisbane property in general has been going pretty well, Adelaide property and Perth properties. So they've been getting a bump because they're in that sort of up to $1 million affordable bracket, and the prices have been increasing there. So if you bought a year ago, you probably get a pretty good yield today. But I think they're right at the top of the property clock right now, because that sort of run has happened. Melbourne, I'm down here right now. The property market here has been a bit more depressed. I think there's a lot more restrictions from an investment point of view, with sort of resetting and establishing appropriate rental rates for tenants. So hence that market has been a bit depressed. But I do believe that the rising tide is that the property prices will increase, and there's probably some good bargains to be had in the Melbourne CBD, right? I mean, it's an aspirational city. It's a great location to either invest and also to migrate and buy a home, because there's lack of stock in general. And then lastly, I suppose, talking about the different property segments, that 0 to $1.5 million in the CBD, it's affordable, and there's lots of demand for those types of properties now, both by investors and first home buyers. The sort of $2.5 million properties, maybe for owner occupiers, because they're less affordable and the lenders are less inclined to lend a large amount for those properties, that property market has been a bit more depressed. Yeah, so the auction rates and the clearance rates haven't been as great on those properties, and as such, prices have sort of decreased again. But it will be interesting to see how we play out this summer, and again sort of prepare for January and February with the potentially decreases in interest rates. That will sort of stimulate a bit more activity as well. So it's a bit of a mixed market across the country.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, just finishing off, can you tell me what's been happening within Team Lydian?
Yeah, the biggest thing for us is that we're recruiting in geographical areas where we feel that we've got partnerships, and we need good mortgage brokers to service those partners, and that's been great. So we've had a wonderful guy join us over in Perth to complement Jamie Gant over there, so that's good. So Brendan Tan joins us, and he's a North Perth boy, and we plugged him into our H&R Block partnerships to start with, and he's knocking on doors and going out to branches in WA and Perth. So yeah, welcome Brendan. And then secondly, we've got a new team down in Melbourne. So I'm here now with a company called Clark Finance Group, and Vaughan Clark and his team, and those guys are joining Lydian as well. So yeah, we'll close the broker team at Christmas with 20 brokers, which is a big team. Certainly we're a national team now, because we've covered pretty much all of the cities bar, I think, Darwin, which is pretty cool. And yeah, our operations team are doing some great things. We had some great numbers last month, and again, we just want to thank our partners for one, supporting Lydian, two, referring their clients through to do the lending services, and lastly, yeah, we're looking forward to December closing and getting our Christmas hats on.
That's it, bring it on. Thank you so much, Boothy, and I guess we'll see everyone in December, and we'll be wearing our Christmas hats by then.
Woohoo! Thanks, Jackie. You have a great one, yeah?
Thank you. You too. See ya.
Ciao, ciao. Bye.
Bye.